your phone?
Yeah, I just got a notification. You know what it was?
Oh my god, that I'm live?
It is. I got a notification that you're live.
It's really, really good that you can get those notifications. What if you didn't know what was happening?
It's probably pretty good that I got that.
Happy Friday night, people. Welcome to the COVID kitchen. Guess we're in for another couple weeks of staying at home, not visiting friends and family. So, this is how I'll visit friends and family. I'll do a live cooking video. Maybe you guys can hang out with me this fine Friday night. We're actually going to make chicken tikka masala, which is a beautiful curried chicken dish. I'm actually just prepping the onion. I'm going to finely dice one whole white onion and then get it ready to start caramelizing. How's everybody doing? I don't know if anyone else is feeling the same way, but yeah, this was the only 1 week of January. It was the longest week ever. I read a really funny thing today that was like, yeah, I've tested out the 7-day free trial of 2021. Yeah, I'd like a refund. Thank you.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, it's been a week. It's been a week for sure. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that, but yeah, I'm gonna cook my feelings away.
And everybody appreciates that very, very much.
And I'll try not to make it fiery hot today.
That is great.
I made a paella earlier this week. And yeah, we like spicy food, or should I say I really like spicy food. And I can tolerate spice quite well. This was like fire paella.
Murder paella.
Yeah, my family decided to call it murder paella. Murder paella, because it was hot. Like really, really hot. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to repeat that today. This will be another nice, warm, spicy meal, but not too spicy.
We often get a hot sauce from one of our favorite restaurants here in Sherwood Park called La Patrona, and their hot sauce is called
Pinche Loco.
Pinche Loco, which is crazy hot, essentially.
The problem is it's really good. It's so good. It has so many good flavors. It's amazing. You're probably just not supposed to use the whole bottle, which I did.
The whole large bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was spicy.
It's Rilla. Hi, Rilla. Happy New Year to you as well.
Aw, Rilla. Happy New Year. Hope you guys are well. Hope you and Keith are good and have had a nice Christmas and New Year's. Settled nicely into your first week of January.
I think Novi's on too. Hi, Novi.
Novi, hi. Happy New Year.
We should probably give a special shout out.
Oh, Miss Vanessa, I happen to know it's somebody's birthday today. I do hope that you are having an absolutely amazing day. And yeah, this one's for you, babe. So I actually have here one large finely diced onion. And here I have a mix of a tablespoon of fresh grated turmeric, fresh grated ginger and garlic, and one Thai chili.
How many?
One.
Oh.
Only one. I promise. Only
That's
one.
good.
So in my lovely little pot here, I'm just going to start melting this up. Turn it on to about 6.
And Jessica's on too. Hello, Jessica.
Usually I use clarified butter when I'm making an Indian curry, but I kind of want to brown the butter a little bit, so I'm going to use a regular butter and a mix of oil tonight. We're going to melt this down until it just starts to brown.
So how much oil do you put in there? A couple tablespoons?
Yeah, a tablespoon.
About what's that? Quarter of a stick of butter?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's put the light on.
Okay.
There we go.
Sounds good.
And we have rice going in the corner.
Ooh, and it's yummy rice tonight. It actually is basmati rice, and it has a couple of cardamom pods and some cinnamon and cumin and some vegetable broth. It's really steamy.
And the steam is warm?
And the steam is really warm. Oh my god, you guys. Earlier tonight, I was roasting, so you have to come and see this because it looks amazing. I did some roasted tandoori chicken and some butternut squash. Just in a tandoori masala and some cumin and a little bit of oil, and I baked that in the oven. But it was creating a lot of steam, and when I opened the oven, I think I melted my eyebrows just a little bit.
It's a good thing you don't have those stick-on eyelashes.
Oh my god. Okay, so real eyelashes is a good thing to have right now because I'm sure I would have melted them. But I do feel like my eyebrows might be just a little crispy. But yeah, so this rice is going to be delicious.
And what is a cardamom pod for those who don't know?
So green cardamom is actually, I'll show you one of them. So just 1 second.
Okay. She's going to the pantry.
Okay, so you can get both. So there's two kinds of cardamom. There's green cardamom and black cardamom. It's really hard to describe what they're like, but it is an Indian spice. So this is what the pods look like. And if you crush the pods, there's black little seeds inside. So here, I'll just put them in here because in here I actually have just 2 tablespoons of coriander. And I'm going to add these 2 green cardamom pods. Brown them up a little bit more. And once you open the hull of the green cardamom, they actually have little black seeds in them, but you can use them whole or ground. And so I've put whole cardamom pods into the rice. And yeah, it's hard. It's kind of perfumey, a little licoricey maybe.
There's definitely a little bit of that fennel, black licorice scent there, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to describe cardamom. It's really, really delicious, and it's a really unique flavor. But yeah, I probably use the green cardamom more often than black. So once we get this melted and starting to brown, then I will add the onion. Oh.
And as usual, there's a mixture of butter and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil.
So I don't want to burn the butter, I want to brown the butter. So I find if you use a little blend of both, it takes a little bit more time, but gives you a little bit more leeway so you can brown that butter up nicely and maybe not watch it so like a hawk. What you do if you use just regular butter, you have to watch it very closely because it will burn very, very quickly. But this nice blend together here gives you a little bit more time.
A nice sizzle in there.
Just want those milk solids to start browning up in the butter. And you don't want it to brown too much because we are going to sweat the onions for a little bit of time.
Put them to work. Make them sweat.
Make them sweat.
Maybe we could put some oldies on.
Sweat to the oldies. Aww. Richard Simmons.
No, honey, that's a different Simmons. Oh no, it is Richard Simmons.
It's Richard Simmons. Sweat to the oldies was Richard Simmons. He thinks I have no idea what I'm talking about.
It's true, but I was totally wrong.
Which never happens.
Oh, and Rilla says from personal experience, remember to count how many pods you use so that you can remove them all. it's not a nice surprise to the person who finds the one that you didn't take out.
Oh no, I know. The actual cardamom pod has a very, very woody texture. It's not pleasant at all. So yeah, you do want to take those out, and I have made that mistake, Krilla. I have also learned from experience.
I strongly feel like I may have been the recipient of the said, what's the unpleasant experience of getting the actual green cardamom pod.
Yeah. It's kind of like me and the bay leaf, because guaranteed somebody.
Yeah, doesn't matter how many go in, one less comes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
One bay leaf? Can't find it. 2? Oh, there's one. Let's take it out. Where'd the other one go? I don't know.
Somebody's gonna get it.
It's like the what is it? The not the Epiphany. The on.
No, it is the Epiphany. So on the 6th of
Epiphany.
January, the 6th of January is Epiphany, which is a celebration for a lot of Latin cultures.
For the 12 days of Christmas.
For the 12 days of Christmas, it officially is the last of the 12 days of Christmas. And usually it's got a traditional braided bread, and there's a baby Jesus baked inside. And whoever gets the baby Jesus has to host dinner. Usually tamales is what is served, but they have to make tamales for everyone that was in attendance. So, yeah, it's kind of like the baby surprise.
Nobody likes a baby surprise.
Okay, so I just want you guys to come and have a look. It's just starting to brown right now. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to move this here. You can see that it almost looks like cinnamon flakes. Once it kind of gets that cinnamon flake look to it, that's perfect timing to add the onion.
I think I'm going to stay right here and watch that onion go in, because that's such a beautiful sight and sound.
I know, there's something about the smell of onions cooking that just is so comforting. Something good is going to happen.
There's probably 2 of my favorite things when I get home. Number 1 is the smell of sautéing onions, and the other one is seeing my in-laws' car in the driveway. Miss Bob and Dorothy so much. Game of cards. Yeah, usually means a good game of cards. But Bob and Dorothy, we miss you tremendously. And I see my mom's on too. Hi, Mom. We miss you tremendously as well. We'll have to all get together once they open up the COVID quarantine restrictions.
I'm just going to open this rice up here and give it a little stir. First, I'm going to take out my cardamoms.
Did you count how many went in?
There was 3, so I'm going to
3. You hear that? She actually did count.
I can count, thanks.
Well, to 3.
Yeah, for sure. So this rice smells absolutely divine. So again, it's got a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of cumin, 3 cardamom pods, a bay leaf, and some vegetable broth. And it is all done and ready, so I'm just going to cover that up and let that sit until we're ready.
Perfect. Oh, my mom asked black or white. She must have tuned in a little late. Green,
Mom.
Mom.
Black or white what?
Cardamom.
Oh, I don't know if white cardamom.
Green.
There's green or black. So those are getting a nice little sweat on.
You'll have to watch the video back to see the full green cardamom. It does have black inside, but it's a husk.
So black cardamoms. Okay, so I'm going to open this again for those that might have missed it. So this is a green cardamom pod right here, but they actually come in black as well. So it looks exactly like this. It's just a really dark, burnt brown color. Oops, but that's the green one. Yeah, when you crush them open, there are little black seeds inside, but that does not define whether it's green or black cardamom. The actual husk on the outside does. So now I'm going to add the turmeric, garlic, and red chili. while that is sauteing nicely, I'm actually going to rough chop some tomatoes.
You know, when I started the video, I zoomed in on these tomatoes. They are picture perfect on the vine tomatoes. They're gorgeous.
I know, so pretty, right? Nice and bright.
Just a nice big rough chop on there.
Yeah, because these are going to cook down, and that's what's going to make this saucy. As they cook down, it's going to make its own sauce with all the herbs and spices that are in there. And I'm going to use all the tomatoes. I had 5 here. Oops. Now, traditionally, when you're cooking down these ingredients, it makes its own kind of gravy. And it can either be blended to make it nice and smooth or left chunky. I prefer to leave it chunky. I just really like the texture, so I'm leaving it that way tonight. And also, it saves time. It's not really a necessary step. Just depends on whether or not you really want it smooth or whether you like the bite of the different textures in your mouth. So now, back over to here. So now, important step before you add your tomatoes. Once those have sweat, you're going to add the remainder of your spices. So I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of garam masala. Garam masala is just a nice blend of spices. You can get several different kinds. Add a couple tablespoons of that. Then I'm going to add a tablespoon of cumin. A little bit of hot paprika gives it a really nice tone. Probably about a tablespoon of that as well. And then that freshly ground coriander and cardamom that I did earlier. Pour that in there. You want to toast your spices always. It's kind of what brings them to life.
And it's starting to smell amazing in the kitchen.
So you notice that usually you'll know when it's on.
My mom said, I'm not watching the cutting.
I'm not even cutting anymore.
No,
It's
but
fine.
when you were cutting.
Oh, okay.
So for those of you that need a backstory there, somebody doesn't like watching other people use a knife.
Okay, so once those spices are toasty, you can usually smell a change in them. They start becoming really rich and deep in scent. That's when you're going to add your tomatoes. So add those right in. Whoop.
Or the side,
Or
whatever.
beside, wherever, you know. And those we're just going to let cook down. And while they're cooking down, I'm just going to dice up the chicken that I roasted earlier.
And while they dice down, they are going to create a lot of moisture in there to create a nice saucy base.
And depending on how saucy you like it, you can add some extra broth. I have some set aside just in case I need some. And what else am I going to do? I'm going to chop up this.
Mom, close your eyes.
I always like to try and make sure that if I have any leftover vegetables in the fridge that I use them up. I just found this red pepper in the crisper. Have no other plans for it. Don't want it to go bad, so I'm going to add that in there. And now, I'm going to add the chicken, nice and So again, this chicken was roasted earlier with some tandoori spices, cumin, garlic, ginger, a little bit of olive oil. And I just want to cut it up into nice bite-sized pieces to put into the curry. And it's a lot of chicken, so I'm not going to use all of it tonight. I'm going to save some of it for another meal.
Some of it might even end up in a container for tomorrow's lunch.
Probably. How many pieces do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll use about half of them. It was a pack of 10 chicken thighs. I roasted all 10 in the same spices, but I'll only use 5 to cook the meal tonight. The nice thing about cooking in large quantities is that you can do everything all at once, and it makes dinner the next night really simple.
And delicious.
And delicious. Oops.
Should have sharpened your knife.
I did sharpen my knife.
Oh. Maybe it's time for some new knives.
I know.
I was looking on Amazon and I saw these really nice, what's that fancy steel where it's all like marbly?
Oh, I don't know, but they're beautiful.
Yeah, I love those knives. And even if they don't cut well, they look great.
Although we would really like them to cut.
I also would like them to cut well. Let's take a look at that. No, I think you may have underestimated how much protein we need in our meal tonight. Maybe 1 or 2 more pieces.
No, that's lots.
But are you sure?
Yep. I'm sure.
See, I'm the protein guy. Really like my protein.
So
We're gonna do a little bit more.
bit of broth to this because the tomatoes aren't giving as much moisture as I'd like. Plus I want to get all those brown bits off the bottom of the pan. I'm not going to add too much. Just a little to start. I'm going to turn that down to about 5. It was at 6 because I wanted to get a nice sear on everything. Turn it down to about 5 now and just let that stew away.
Looks beautiful. Smells amazing.
So now, while that's finishing stewing, I have another cutting board here. I'm going to make actually something called raita. It's actually a yogurt sauce. It's really nice for those that want a little bit more mild or want to cleanse their palate after a bite. So we're going to make some of that. And just set those there, so I'll probably need to wipe my hands again.
That, and I mean, it's not cleaning up the kitchen unless I see random paper towels crumpled up.
All right, sassafras. Okay, you can use yogurt for this dish. Tonight I'm actually going to use creme anglaise.
Can you explain what that is?
So it's actually just a really heavy cream. Creme fraiche. It's kind of like sour cream. Not quite as tart. We're going to make it tart by adding some lime juice and some lime zest. So just a couple of tablespoons of that. Then we're going to add a few tablespoons of fresh chopped mint. I'll need another knife. It's really nice and delicate, the raita is. A couple tablespoons of fresh mint. couple tablespoons of fresh cilantro. It's like, God, I was going to call it coriander because it actually is either or. They kind of are the same. Well, cilantro is the leaf, coriander is the seed. But lots of cultures just call this part coriander as well.
I thought that's what you were saying, Mom.
What?
I zoomed in while you were chopping.
Oh.
I love you, and I'm so sorry.
Okay, so I have just a little bit of leftover cilantro. I'm just going to add it right in here. We'll top it with some fresh later, but for now that'll do. Now I'm going to use the juice of 1 lime and a little bit of cumin.
What did you call that not yogurt substitute?
It's creme fraiche.
I promise, at least you're not licking the knife.
So creme fraiche is kind of a cross between plain yogurt and sour cream. So it's like the in-between. Blend that up nice. And now just a titch of cumin.
Sorry, how much?
A titch. I'm going to say
Titch.
like maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon.
Perfect.
A little bit more than 1/4 of a teaspoon. There we go, and that is done, and we'll just set that aside. And this is something that's really nice just to drizzle over top once you're serving. Again, it helps cleanse the palate, cool it down.
And for anybody that does have maybe a little bit lower Scoville scale rating, the Raita does a great job of cutting that heat.
So I just want you to come and take a look at this now, because as you'll see, those tomatoes have cooked down really nicely now. You can actually just mash them up with your spatula, and it has created a beautiful gravy all on its own. So much flavor. So now to that, I'm going to add the chicken and the pepper. Adding the pepper close to the end because I still want it to maintain a lot of its texture. We just need to warm it through. We don't really need to cook it. Then I'm actually going to add a butternut squash.
And this is the butternut squash that you roasted in the same tandoori?
Yes, the same tandoori spices. So I'm actually just going to pick this up like a nice little scoop and pour it in. And it's just no mess. I like it.
Nice, easy
can
cleanup
take
for
that.
the sous chef. Or videographer, however it may be.
I know, you have so many jobs, Aaron. How do you control yourself?
It's everything in moderation. That's how it works.
Oh, my little grow light just turned on.
The extra light was the, I don't think we should say grow light. It is a, what's it, arrow?
It's an arrow garden. It's
Arrow
growing
garden.
basil, Thai basil, oregano, thyme,
Dill.
dill.
It's
and
growing dill
parsley.
like ridiculous. The dill, if you ever want to try something at home as an experiment, get one of these and just put dill in it. It's amazing.
It's out of control. And yet my basil, which I really want to grow, is coming along so slowly. Oh well. Can't win them all. Let's
It'll
taste.
come
Do the taste
along.
test.
And the survey says?
Survey says perfect.
That's a pretty good survey.
It's got a nice kick, not too much. Nice warm. It's like a perfect cold day food.
That looks terrific. And that pepper going in late gets to keep its nice bright red.
Now we're just going to add some fresh cilantro before we serve. Just because it gives it a nice green pop. Fresh cilantro. And just because I like to get in my veggies, just gonna add in some frozen peas right at the end.
Oh, frozen peas is a delicious additive. It gives a beautiful mouthfeel, a pop.
And you add them right at the very, very end, again, because this is one thing you just want them to heat through. You don't want them to cook for too long. And they stay nice and bright green, add beautiful color, and just a bit of freshness to the meal. So that is it for my peas. All right, so now what I'll do is just before we wrap up for the night, I'll show you how to serve. So I like a bowl for this. I like a bowl for a lot of meals, actually. I just find that when you can have it all together, each bite has a little bit of a different flavor and texture to it. So we're gonna serve the rice here. Nice aromatic rice tonight.
For those of you just tuning in, that rice a little bit augmented from regular rice. It has
Green cardamom, a bay leaf, a little bit of cumin, some cinnamon, and some broth. So there, and then can top that off with a little bit of the braita. So just a little drizzle, just put it in one corner. That way the person that is eating it can decide how much or little they want in each bite. Isn't it pretty?
It is beautiful.
Okay guys, happy Friday night. We're gonna go enjoy some chicken tikka masala. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Love you all.